because we have Little Gawa in the top lane, Smash Pocket Jungle, Scurv mid, Feral Hogs, and Joe in the mid lane for, what is that, threat level Midnight?
I believe that's
And
endgame.
That's endgame? What week am I looking at? I'm looking at day 2. Look at me. Yeah, we got endgame, and then we have threat level Midnight on the other side.
Yeah, so G-Bob Jones, where did we go?
Jones.
Astral, naming. Name or Angelo 4. Sorry.
No, you're good. First ban coming out on the side of endgame was the Olaf. The Olaf has been a very big pick throughout the entire ALS, and now we're looking at another jungle target ban on Lily Sin, as well as a pike ban coming on the side of threat level Midnight.
Yes, the pike ban is obviously a targeted ban against Joe, who has played 3 games on pike.
And has topped off on every single one of them.
Absolutely.
And then the Nautilus ban, because again, Joe is apparently the target that they want to take out this game, seeing as how it doesn't matter like who he seems to play, he seems to perform really well on whoever he picks up.
On the side of endgame, we see 2 bans targeted toward the jungle and Anorak. Anorak's played Olaf before, but not this game, so we'll see what ends up coming in.
It's actually really interesting the amount of focus that Joe is getting this game with three bans targeted at his champion. I'm wondering if they think they can ban him out or something, but it will probably put Joe on one of his lower tier combo picks, even though the Yasuo ban does go out and a little bit more spread out in terms of the bans, like the target bans, where the Lee Sin, the Olaf, and the Yasuo are all out there, which 2 jungle bans and 1 mid lane ban, but the Mordekaiser does come through on the side of threat level Midnight, so their top lane is going to be very solid. We've seen G-Bob Jones on that Mordekaiser before, but I think this is the first time we're seeing the Rengar pick in this tournament.
I believe so, yeah. We've definitely seen Scurv on Orianna a couple of times, including one pretty massive performance against Legacy Ambassadors, so that's obviously a comfort for him.
And the Aphelios getting through. Usually we see Aphelios, Caitlyn, or Kai'Sa bans in the first round of bans, but we did not see them, so to have them on the table still means that we might see a Kai'Sa pick up here.
That's true. Threat level Midnight targeting all their bans toward Joe has let Feral Hogs rather pick up the Aphelios.
Because remember, there are 2 members in the bot lane, so banning out just the support might not be enough for them, seeing as how Feral Hogs has performed on that Aphelios before, and Aphelios not seeing any significant nerfs lately is probably still going to be a huge problem for threat level Midnight. But the Diana, which I know is Kinder's go-to ban of the patch, so although I don't believe that Diana is an overly oppressive champion, she's easily shut down, but it'll be interesting to see how endgame responds, how Scurv's Orianna responds to Astral's Diana. A Vi ban coming out on the side of threat level Midnight, taking away a jungler, seeing as how all they have left is possibly a jungler if Mundo is not their jungler, and a top lane. And a support, sorry.
On the other side, looks like they're picking in draft order. We're still waiting for that box.
Because we were looking at a Caitlyn ban that comes out. I did mention earlier that Kai'Sa and Caitlyn usually have been seeing picker bans here in the ALS.
And Namer had a big game on Caitlyn last week, so it looks like that option won't be open. Went 23 and 3.
A Jarvan then. Jarvan's one of those champions with a very, very early game pressure, can blow flashes at level 2, even though with the changes to jungle, making it a little bit more difficult to hit level 3 on the first clear for those really early ganks, but Jarvan's one of those few champions that can still do so. and has a really strong level 2 to go with it. So we'll see if we see that. But we do see an Ashe ban rather than a a Kai'Sa ban here. So as expected, the Kai'Sa does get locked in by Nami, and let's see how Endgame responds. So far, it seems as though Threat Level Midnight has a lot of damage on their team, but not a whole lot of tank or wave clear. Their only main piece of wave clear is going to be Kai'Sa Q and Diana Q, but that's not really a whole lot of wave clear. So if this game if they do get behind, it's going to be very difficult for them to come back from it without significant wave clear to match Endgame's Orianna, who can stall out a game if necessary. But the Hecarim coming out means that we are probably a Volibear. So I wonder which they're going to for the support. We'll see on the side of Endgame, because not any of those 3 champions would be considered support champions. But I'm pretty sure, if my predictions are right, it's going to be the Hecarim going there to Smash Pocket. Little Gawa's Mundo, seeing as how he's really comfortable on those tanks. We saw him on a Scion and a Yorick, if I remember correctly, and Joe is being put on Volibear, which is a much lower, playmaking support.
Yeah, what do you think Volibear is going to look like as a support?
I'm not sure. I know we're going to see the steel shoulder guards for the bonus AD, but I can't see Volibear being nearly as effective, especially into a Kai'Sa Morgana lane. I can't see Volibear being all that effective in lane. But once laning phase ends, he does bring a lot to a team fight with his Thunderclaws and being able to run at somebody. And I'm sure that Joe's probably going to build a Righteous Glory this game to make sure to guarantee his engages, or the follow-up engages from Smash Pocket's Hecarim.
We're used to seeing Joe on champions that are able to make those picks. I wonder, it looks like Blitzcrank was available, but...
Yeah, which is why I felt like it was interesting, because I thought he would pick something like the Blitzcrank, something that could make those bigger picks and have a little bit more impact as far as being able to roam. Although Volibear's roams aren't bad because he's a jungler for a reason, but I can't see... my prediction this game is going towards Volibear not being as a player, not being as effective as he usually is, seeing as how Morgana is going to negate him almost entirely in lane. Actually, will negate him entirely in lane, and Kai'Sa is not going to be an easy target with her ultimate keeping her safe post level 6.
So we'll have to see if Feral Hogs is able to take the lead and really make the difference that Endgame is used to him making in this game.
Twitch affiliate is what we're going for here at the AOS, so like you said, if you could give us a like, share, follow, wherever, plug us anywhere, Reddit, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're looking at, feel free to drop by and help us get there to that affiliate. The bigger we get, the more we can do with this here tournament.
Absolutely. If we can get to 50 follows, I think we're going to put in team emotes so that you guys can have emotes to support your favorite teams. So definitely make sure to follow, and make sure to get all of your friends to follow them on Twitch.
About a minute left on the spectator delay here in our champion select between Endgame and Threat Level Midnight. And I am curious to see how the Mordekaiser into Mundo matchup works, because even though I am a top lane secondary and I've played Mordekaiser quite a bit, I'm not really familiar with the Mundo matchup, because he's not really a popular top lane right now, and I'm wondering if we're going to see an adaptive helm come from the Mundo as a first item, because I wouldn't, because with the amount of AP that's coming off the team from Mordekaiser, Diana, Kai'Sa's passive and Morgana. That's going to be a lot of AP. Their main AD is going to be coming from Rengar and partially from Kai'Sa. So the itemization is always a big point of question is when I come in and hear and watch these games and cast these games and look them over. It's always fun to look at the build orders and build paths and the way people itemize against each other.
Looks like they've both top laners took teleport. It looks like summoner spells are mirrored across the board. So
nothing too significant there. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too interesting in terms of some new off meta stuff that we see.
You'll have to tell me if there's anything interesting in these runes.
Doesn't so far I don't see anything too crazy in the runes. Everything seems normal as well, including the aftershock volley bear. Because that I feel like that's the place to watch is bot lane, because that's always been the strong suit, or one of the two strong suits of endgame. So that they're always able to play really solid down there in the bot lane, but there's nothing too significant in terms of safety and all that good stuff in the runes.
True.
I'm sure the Mordekaiser is running. What is it? Taste of Blood, Ravenous Hunter. We've got Mundo, which I'm assuming might be Transcendence and Nullifying Orb, maybe into all that AP, which would make sense. Probably Celerity Water Walking on the secondary for the Hecarim, for Smash Pocket's Hecarim, and I'm not entirely sure what secondaries Scurbs Oriana's running, but we'll see. But again, nothing too serious around here in terms of innovation, we'll say. And even Rengar is running Inspiration, which I guess is the only thing that's slightly off. Most people opt for Precision, but Inspiration is also a fun one to see.
So as they spread out into the jungle, it's always interesting. The question is still whether there's going to be a 5-point start, and it looks like...
Will we finally see the 5-point start? Nope, not quite. Almost saw the 5-point start.
The Red Level Midnight is going for that engage as well to capitalize. Invade. Rather.
Only Feral Hog is there, and he's going to walk right into the team of that. Being forced to flash the bind, but I don't know if he'll be able to get away with Where Did We Go on the Rengar, able to leap them using both of these bushes, but auto attacks are going down. It looks like Where Did We Go still looking for more and jumping again. Morgana missing a second bind, and Where Did We Go being forced to flash out, but able to pick off Joe's Volley Bear anyway from the bush using his Unseen Predator passive.
And Where Do We Go makes it out, yeah.
First Blood going over to threat level Midnight. Nothing. Very explosive start on the side of threat level Midnight, but let's see if they're able to maintain that lead throughout the game. Smash Pocket opting to start on his top side and on the blue buff with the way that the fight down by his red went, not knowing whether or not there was a ward placed or not, which there was not, but it seems like Where Did We Go is also going to be starting on his top side, but the difference is he will be stepping on a ward.
He did back to purchase, looks like a longsword with the money from his kill.
And he's also soloing it with no help from G. Bob Jones. But it doesn't seem like it'll matter. Looks like standard starts across the board, nothing too crazy in the builds, about even farm across every single lane so far. Now, Rengar is one of those champions that can snowball really hard, really early. And even the fact that Where Did We Go is opting to take his Raptors here, to me is really interesting because of how slow Rengar clears his Raptors. most Rengars that I see personally don't opt for the early Raptors. They usually skip that camp because of how long it takes them to clear and how much damage they usually take from that camp. But he is looking towards mid lane, stepping on the ward, which Skirb sees, and will back up to make sure that he stays safe. A lot of mana being used on Skirb as well, and not a whole lot being used from Astral's Diana, who doesn't really have really high mana costs in the first place.
Smash Pocket's coming up, maybe looking to
Test the bot trap.
Maybe wandered up and is going to get caught out by Joe. Actually takes the kill on naming.
It's crazy to see how a little miscommunication there on the side of third level Midnight can cause a lot. Because where do we go? Did not seem to have pinged anything about Smash Pocket leaving the crab, which allowed Nami and Angeloid to not also be in the same page in terms of walking up to assist for to make sure to secure the crab.
That's true. So Nami ends up walking right into
Region. But where did we go? Did pick up the extra, pick up the crab on bot side, which means that the top one is open for whoever. But it doesn't seem like any aggressive passing, and Nami going down again.
Smash Pockets on the top side of the map, taking that scuttle.
Yeah, what ended up happening in bot lane was the Hex Flash was used from an unwarded bush to jump onto Nami, and essentially just got 100 to 0 between the damage of both of them. But G-Bob Jones does not look like he will be escaping the gank coming in from Smash Pocket either, and it seems as though Endgame is answering back from that level 1, because they do not go down without a fight. Ultimate's coming online for
Endgame coming into the mid lane for a gank on Astral, and it looks like they're going to execute that. So another kill going over to Endgame.
Endgame playing really, really aggressive games. They always start off really, really well in terms of the early game pressure that they're able to put out across the map. Whether it's Smash Pocket, whether it's making plays in the jungle and causing a ruckus there between him and the other jungler, or just spam ganking lanes like he's doing now, where he hits the top lane, he hits the mid lane, and just putting out leads anywhere he can.
Definitely. Getting 2 kills on that Hecarim, letting Feral Hogs get up, looks like almost 15 CS at this point. In a lane that we weren't sure with the Volibear support how it was going to go.
And it looks like we were both wrong in that aspect, because it seems like Joe is still being that big playmaker there in the bot lane. Another Hex Flash play coming on the bot lane from Joe's Volibear, taking down Nami almost immediately. That flip, that Hex Flash flip is so deadly, and there's not enough warding down there in the bot lane on the side of threat level Midnight to properly defend against it, or just not respecting it enough.
And that's another kill onto Feral Hogs, and it's going to put Nami even farther behind. And now Joe is wandering up to help Smash Pocket start that draft, or possibly looking to mid lane.
Mid. Ward placed on the wolves. And where did we go? Looking towards Logawa, unable to find anything. Gets the root down, nearly dies himself. Death's Grasp missing onto Ogawa.
Joe and Smash Pocket try to engage on Angeloid, but Angeloid is able to flash and escape. Now Scurv is roaming.
Overstepping his boundaries just a little bit. Trusting a little too much in his regen. And where did we go? Picking up the kill on Little Gobble using the Thrill of the Hunt ultimate.
Scurv is in top lane and flashes under tower to take out G-Bob Jones.
Might not have been the best timing because Scurv will be losing a plate here and a cannon minion as well to make that happen, but which is about 250 gold for that 300 to pick up.
The Astral is pushed up now. It looks like Joe and Smash Pocket are looking to put a kill on.
But Astral is swinging and picks up both kills.
Oh boy.
A little too much confidence on the side of Endgame, sending Joe and Smash Pocket in before Feral Hogs' Aphelios can get there, and is taken down by Astral's Diana, only to give another.
Scurv and Feral Hogs are chasing Angeloid back to the bot lane.
But nothing will come out of that. G-Bob Jones able to pick up Little Gawa actually here. And threat level Midnight is still looking strong despite having lost their early lead just to get it back. Despite being down at about 1,000 gold anyway.
Definitely keeping themselves in this game with a couple kills onto Diana.
Where did we go? Using the Thrill of the Hunt very effectively, able to pick up the double kill here in this bot lane against Feral Hogs and Joe. It seemed as though they were a little bit too far pushed up, despite having started the fight the way that they usually do, with Joe hex flashing onto Nami. But now that Nami had access to the Killer Instinct, it was, like I said, a little bit too difficult to stick to Nami and put down enough damage before the Rengar showed up. But now what we have is a lot of aggression coming up on the side of Endgame, picking up the Rift Herald while that play bot lane was happening.
Looks like top lane is about even in CS. Where did we go? Ganking mid. And taking Scurv out almost immediately.
That is a very strong Rengar coming out now with the 4-0. Finished the Dust Blade and has the team mat for the quick clears. So for all intents and purposes, that kitty will be spam ganking at this point every single time his ultimate is up, and trying to find Smash Pocket now, seeing as how it should have the damage to take him on with that lead. Where did we go? Hovering that bot side. We'll see if we can find somebody or just look for the vision. Starts up his red buff and takes it down almost immediately. Smash Pocket opting not to go for his red buff, definitely finds that bot side camps have been attacked. Now, where is Joe looking towards bot lane once again with Joe here, Joe and Feral Hogs.
Angeloid and Namey Namer coming in through the jungle. The tri-push looks like trying to collapse down on Feral Hogs and Joe.
Smash Pocket is here, and now Ready Goes finally picked off, but it immediately dropped. Like I said, a lot of damage onto the Rengar. Is able to walk away from that and jump back in, double killing, almost triple killing, but easily cleaning up endgame here. Little Dabble going down again. Not his best performance like this so far this game, being taken down solo by G-Bob Jones' Mordekaiser twice now.
So Threat Level Midnight will take the dragon. And if you can see most of the lead on the side of endgame is concentrated on Aphelios and Volibear, Feral Hogs, and Joe. And if they are able to be kind of bullied around by Where Do We Go's Rengar, it's going to facilitate Threat Level Midnight having taken, it looks like, a almost 3,000 gold lead at this point.
No towers have been taken quite yet, and the Rift Herald still an option on the side of endgame. We will see how that decides to get used. Wards being cleared in the river, but it's going to team fights are going to be really messy for these teams, because although I do believe that endgame does have the better team fight, with Where Did We Go having the lead that he has, it's going to be very difficult for endgame to properly defend against him, because you have Feral Hogs and Scurf, who, and for the time being, depending on the itemization, Smash Pocket as well, who will be almost one-shot by Where Did We Go's Rengar. So, with the only peel being Joe's Volibear, it's going to be fun to see how they decide to defend against that. And speaking of that, it seems as though they were able to spot him out before he was able to jump on to Skirb. Alright, well, able to take him down, but Skirb's Orianna not having any mana at this point, trading 1-for-1 with the junglers. But G-Bob Jones is here, as well as Little Goblet, to make sure that no more funny business happens. Angeloid seems to be roaming up and is able to jump onto Skirb's Orianna and take him down. An early redemption picked up from Angeloid saves the life of Astral and ends up still being picked up by Joe's Volibear.
Joe comes in to
swinging. While all that was going on, Feral Hogs decided not to come up with his team and to get some extra farm there. Now sporting a 40 gold lead and 2 kills over Namey's Kaisa. Rift Herald essentially wasted and not on the board for a couple more minutes, or for about another minute. He's ready to go looking again to see if he can take something from Smash Pocket, or even pick up Smash Pocket himself. But Where Do We Go is bot side and looking to see what he will find. Joe's volley there, flipping the cannon wave into tower to make sure that it's in range for Feral Hogs. The Storm Razor was completed by both AD carries, but Feral Hogs has a crit cloak over Namey. And finish boots. Little guy, we're looking towards this pink ward, and is looking a little bit too confident here, is able to... there are 3 champions on the side of endgame, but none of them are able to pick up G-Bob Jones, who flashes over the wall away from Skirb and Little Gawa after ulting, after taking Smash Pocket to the death realm.
So even with 3 members there, endgame loses a member and is unable to secure the kill.
And able to pick up any of the towers as well, while Where Did We Go making big plays down here in the bot lane to dive and continue to push for endgame's bot lane. Rift Herald back on the map, blue buff picked up by Scurb's Orianna. And Astral's Diana picking up another tower here in the mid lane. 18 minutes in, and Smash Pocket will be losing his red buff. And it's looking towards the Rift Herald on the... G-Bob is looking towards his Rift Herald. Little guy was seeing if he can clear the vision on it. But the Mordekais are a little bit too strong here, having finished 2 items and not using boots. Varlez and Proto both able to make sure they sticks the Lodogawa, who gets pulled in. And it looks
Ash
like
on the
Lodogawa
Diana.
will escape.
Yeah. And threat level Midnight turn their eyes toward the dragon. I don't see anyone in the area on the side of endgame to contest.
It will not be contested by when no one is in position, like you said, to take it or to contest. But Mountain Dragons will be spawning for the rest of the game, which actually can go either way for both teams, because both teams have, if it goes on the side of endgame, where they can take 1 or 2 of these Mountain Dragons, that might spell trouble for threat level Midnight. How they don't have a real tank, while Logawa and Joe will be able to frontline really well on the side of endgame. Now, before the game started, we did say that Scurb was one of the players to look for, because as this fight breaks out here, Redemption goes out, Logawa getting caught by the Dark Binding. And Where Did We Go instantly popping Scurb here on the side, making it a 4v3 now. 4v4, sorry. Aphelios shooting out auto after auto as well as Nami, but is not enough. Astral's Diana in between the tower now. Maybe force the flash, is not available for a couple more seconds, about 7 more seconds. But it doesn't even matter, they're still going for it. Astral's Diana able to pick up Feral Hogs here.
And meanwhile, G-Bob Jones is just split pushing in the top lane with impunity. We're gonna take down the inhibitor turret and the top.
G-Bob able to walk away from the Rolling Thunder of Volibear, Joe's Volibear, but nothing too serious seems to be happening now as threat level Midnight set up the Baron. The mid inhib being down creates a lot of pressure for threat level Midnight. And now they have to be careful when pushing up, seeing as how their endgame's top side is completely warded and able to be spotted out by multiple wards there. Where Did We Go ulting onto Smash Pocket's Hack Room yet again and just instantly deleting him. That Rengar is huge, 8-1 with 3 completed items, one of which is a Last Whisper item known as Lord Dominic's Regard. That is a lot of armor that he's just shredding every single fight. Super minions pushing in, somebody has to answer them, or risk losing a Nexus turret. Where Did We Go? Jumping on a little Gawa doesn't seem like he's able to stick with him. G-Bob Jones there, but unable to survive the 3 champions, able to take Feral Hogs with him. Astro jumping on to Skirv. Is walking away with Joe's life. Skirv
Astro
also going
flashes
down.
forward to claim Skirv's life.
And it looks like, where do we go? Looking to... Whoa! That is a lot of damage on the side of third level Midnight's Rengar. He sacrificed himself, but was able to nearly 100-0 their little Gawa. And that will be the end of the game.
Yeah.
Third level Midnight defeating the undefeated endgame in commanding fashion. It was looking really shaky there in the beginning with the way that endgame wanted to make this comeback, with the way that Feral Hogs' Aphelios was doing well with Joe's Volibear actually, but then when it came down to it, they were never able to get any good team fights off until it was too late. Especially, I think the huge turning point was when that Diana, when Joe and Joe's Volibear and the Hecarim decided to 2v1 Diana and get double killed.
So has that changed your opinion about Diana's
Has it changed my opinion on Diana? No, it really hasn't. Because I feel like Conqueror Diana has a lot of healing in her kit, and Joe's passive wasn't up for that fight. Not to mention the fact that it was a little bit too early to be going for that much, seeing as how Hecarim's early game damage is not the greatest right now. He does have a lot of like good damage early, don't get me wrong. But between himself and Joe's Volibear, who didn't have ultimate yet, there wasn't enough damage to really put down onto Astral, who is constantly able to proc her passive on two champions, which is a lot of healing, actually, especially because they're both melee. So she didn't have to really kite them at all. So it was just not enough damage to take on Diana like that.
Gotcha. So if you guys enjoyed that game, make sure to give us a follow. Make sure to send this link to a friend. We're trying to get to 50 follows and affiliate status so we can get you guys some fun emotes. Now we're going to go to a break really quickly, and when we return, we will be it'll be with
We
the
have
fourth
Martin
match of the game.
Cabello,
Yeah.
the fourth match of the day, with Martin Cabello III's fan club versus Legacy Ambassadors as the last game of the day.